stop it till I must. Bow down and worship the black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus.
Yeah, you already know what it is. This is Rhyme and Reason, day 9, song 9. And the song we doing today is Black Phallus. I'm gonna break down the science to phallicism and yoniism. These are two words that we really don't understand because it's not in our curriculum, but I'm gonna break it down to you on how our ancestors in Kemet and Kush, how they venerated the sexual organs and venerated with sex, because sex is powerful and sexual energy is powerful. So I got a special guest for y'all too. Let's go.
Every girl in the world, welcome to my palace. They come from afar to pay homage to the phallus. Demi stay flee, I don't need no stylist. Baby girl took a bow and vowed to be of service. Take off your Jimmy Choos, no
Reason, day 9, you already know what it is. We got a beautiful guest in the building, Zena, New York's favorite. She's a mental health advocate. She does a whole lot of other things. She's also a serial entrepreneur. We're going to talk about her event space. We're going to talk about song Black Phallus. So make sure you tap in, make sure you stay tuned, and we're going to get it lit. Islam to the Moors, you already know. It's your boy Demegod, and we're going to break down song number 9 off the album Goons, Goblins, and Gods 777. This is my 11-day theory where I break down the 11 songs and I take 11 days. In every song, we go into the lyrics, we go into the vibration, the frequency, the science, who the song is catered to, and why I do the song. This is what people want to know. Peace and blessings. So, yeah, you got a chance to listen to the song.
I did. And very, very interesting. I must say, I am learning more about the Samoas, which I was unfamiliar. So, you know what I'm saying? Just getting more information from you and just learning is definitely enlightening. So from listening to the song, for me, it's a little bit sexual. Again, because like I said, just up front, it's just, okay. I wanted to know, what message are you trying to get across?
Well, I think that sex is a powerful weapon that could be used for good or bad. I think this science our ancestors dealt with because they used it to empower themselves. And families, couples, married couples, people that's trying to manifest, they can use sexual energy to manifest money, they can manifest wealth, they can manifest prosperity. So these things we're not taught, of course. This is like extracurricular. This is what the gods would call plus degrees. That's what the gods, because once you master 120, you still have to study and you still have to take it further. You know what I'm saying? A lot of gods, especially the older gods, they master 120 backwards and frontwards, but they don't only master 120, they have plus degrees. And we consider Kemet a plus degree. The Masons consider Kemet a plus degree. Kemet science is all in Masonry. Illuminati, all these groups, that's what they deal with. They dealing with Kemetic science. That's why on the dollar bill you see the pyramid, which represents the Moors. And the reason why the capstone is off of the pyramid is because the Moors are asleep right now. So for us to put that pyramid back is to teach ourselves, reteach ourselves our ancestor science so we can use it to be better people, so we can create better communities for our families. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Black Phallus, I think, is a song that is a raunchy song. I love doing raunchy songs. I love doing all type of music. I think that I come from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So when we bought an album, and the album had 16 songs, every song wasn't the same thing like these kids is doing today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every song sounds the same.
Right.
You're just saying a little something different. So I'm from the era where I'm an artist to the heart, and I make music for different multitudes of reasons. You know what I mean? And I believe art imitates life.
I agree.
And in life, every day I'm not happy. Every day I'm not mad. Every day I'm not sad. Every day I'm not horny. Right? Every day is something different. It's you know what I mean? So I think that classic albums are those albums that had different vibes to them that you could put on how you was feeling. Now these artists, you know what I'm saying, you got to be feeling one way, because every song is predominantly one way. It's one vibration. Even if they talking about females, it's the same flow. They got the same flow as the Baby. It's just like, it's the same thing. So, you know, we come from the Notorious Bigs, the Nas's, the Pops. We talking about classic albums.
Classic albums. And even just on the other end, on the Caribbean side, the Shabba Ranks, the Super Cat, you know what I'm saying? They was actually speaking ranchy music.
That's a fact.
You know, so for me, I was, like I said, being in different, you know, either way, environment, there were certain things I wasn't able to or allowed to listen to. So automatically when I hear, you have to actually really stay tuned and hear a little bit more the lyrics. Because, you know, when you say, okay, I have these bitches on their knees praying, I'm just like, all right, what the bloody hell is going on here?
So I think that let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I think that that hook was already created. Like, if you notice on this album, now I explained to you in episode 4 where we talked about type of time. I said the Moors need to understand that a lot of this music that I'm pushing out, all of that. So that's when I was on my gangster shit. I was on my nigga shit. It wasn't, I was fully enthralled into that world. The street world was where I was at. My name was Dangerous. They call me Danger. You know what I'm saying? So you could just imagine. But now, that's why the first project was Danger versus Demegod. Because there's two sides of me and two parts of my life. Demegod is the conscious. He's the moral. He knows the science. And Danger is a part of that street life. And you know, that's that part of me. And I really don't want to get rid of it, because I'm trying to connect with the people that's still there. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to connect with the youth that's still there. So there's a saying that says, Allah raises up a prophet that speaks the language of the people. So he's not going to send Muhammad to talk to people that speak Yahshua's language. And he's not going to send Yahshua to prophesize over Arabic people's language. He rises people up in the world, speaking the language in that environment,
in what they can comprehend.
So I know I have a lot of fans that's from ages, my demographics, and this is what my analytics say. I have a lot of fans from 18 to 40. So I know my 35 and my 40-year-olds hear the album, and when they get to that song, they want to skip that song.
Especially the ladies, because I'm over 45. So you know, it was a little bit different. But like I said, we have to explore and see where you're coming from. And you know, like you're saying, the youngins or the young, what do they call them, the YNs? This is their lingo. So in order for you to be able to communicate with them, you have to, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to come out there, you have to speak the language that they speak.
Exactly. I would love to do an album catered to 35 and up. That's something to think about. And that will be a real hip hop album, because that's where era y'all come from. But for me to relate to these kids and bring the Moorish science and bring the education, the esoteric education, that's the secret science that they're not teaching these kids, that will empower them if they knew they had chakras. In the song, I talk about Kundalini, I talk about chakras. Even though it's raunchy, if you read in between the lines, I'm dropping mad jewels, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into that though, but I'm glad Zena's here. Let's talk about what Zena got going on.
What's up? Well, you know, I am a CEO of a nonprofit called Abundance Health, where basically empowered women help different people in different crises and different situations. And please be sure to check out the website. It's www.abundancehealthinc.org, where if you're looking for an apartment, you need some type of training, you just wanted to find out, what's going on in life, or just need some type of direction. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but I could definitely, God definitely used me to be able to help whoever I possibly can. And I also have an event space, which is in the Bronx. Feel free. We have hip-hop open mic nights there on Thursdays, Afrobeat nights. So promoters, if you have an event coming up, or even if you have baby showers, birthday parties, whatever the case may be, come through. You could reach the office at 347-601-6055. That's Abundance Health. And what else I have going on? We have, I'm also a part of the board for Heaven Up in Harlem, which is a Harlem-based. Danielle Jenkins is the CEO. I'm part of the board, where we basically we celebrate the lives of the people that have transitioned, that have passed away. So basically, yearly has a cookout where we have men, bringing out their sons and introducing one another. Each one to another.
Community.
Yes, community-wise. So feel free to check that out. But that's it about me. It's a whole lot. You can find out about me on the website.
I like the fact that you advocate for mental health. We just lost, we just lost my brother, Young Noble.
Yes.
From the Outlaws.
Yes.
And allegedly, they say he unalived himself. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the truth, may the truth come out and may the truth be revealed. But if that's the truth, then we understand that mental health is something that you notice, like, people when social media didn't exist, people ain't really talk about mental health. Like, that was taboo. Like, if you had to go to the psychiatrist or take medication, mentally, people didn't want to let other people know they had these issues because it was taboo, and people ostracized people for these things. But now that we have social media and a lot of people are being affected, social media is good and bad. Social media has been able to allow people to bring topics and issues in the community to the forefront, and have other people around the world be touched and feel what's going on and want to do something about it. Right. So mental health is one of those things. Mental health is something that we should have been advocating for and talking about. You know what I'm saying? But we say, oh, they crazy, or or they possessed. I've heard that.
It's kind of like, what is it, Shawn upon in the Black community as well. Like, especially men, you know what I'm saying? June was Mental Health Month. You didn't hear much about that, but there's a lot of people, as far as men, that I come about, where they don't feel like sharing their problems or talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, you got to man up. But sometimes, like I say, life is lifing. So, we have previous trauma that we don't discuss. You have to understand why you are the way you are. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're created, but sometimes, it's not so sunshine. And regardless of what you see on social media, we all go through stuff. We all have ups and downs, and that's just the journey of life, But if you have, especially for us women, if you have a friend, gentleman that you're dealing with, ask him question, how you feeling? What is the weather like in your world? Meaning that, I'm not here to try to fix you, because you can't fix nobody.
That's a fact.
You cannot fix anybody, but just make sure that you are there as a space where, okay, listen, I can't fix anything, but I'm here. If you need me, I'm going to be here. So our black men need that support, and you know what I'm saying, sisters? we need our black men, and they need us as well, regardless of what you think or what you say. And you know, if you know self, then if you love self, you have enough to give. Because I tell people they can never give what they don't have. So if you have love for self, and we are a community, so you know,
that's a fact.
check on each other.
Check on each other. Check on your peoples, man. Shout out to the outlaws, man. The remaining outlaws that's alive. The Tupac legacy will always live. Young Noble was a friend of mine. We were supposed to work together, but Allah had other plans, and I'm all right with that, because now he's on the other side. He can see clearly. He's in the spirit world. In respect to him and his family and his daughter, and yeah, that's what it is, man.
For the friends too, condolences to the friends. I know one of my friends, Queen was a good friend of his. So you know, friends and family, our condolences.
We got to tap in with each other on a regular basis. But again, going back to what I was saying about knowledge.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is the key. If our kids today could get the knowledge that they're not getting in public school, if they could get the knowledge that the Egyptians had, the Greeks had, or all these ancient societies, because the ancient empires really had all the science. Scientists today are just now discovering what the ancients already knew. The ancients knew where the stars was. They knew all of that. They just now figuring it out with big telescopes. So I think that we need to bring that ancient science and education back into pop culture, back into the school system. You know what I'm saying? However it may be. So that's why I chose to do a song like Black Phallus, so you can see the obsolescence. Like when you look at the Washington Memorial, I spoke about the Washington Memorial in the song. It has the obsolescence. What you see here, the obsolescence is official. It's so official that the science behind it is what American culture would say. See, American culture is so funny. It'll say, yo, that's degrading, that's profanity, that's degrading. But then they have the symbols all around you. It's just that you don't know that that's a penis symbol. That's a vagina symbol. Oh, that's a fallopian tube symbol. Because a lot of the ancients used these symbols to venerate life. This is what brings us into the third dimension. This is what brings us into the material world. Yes, sex is a fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't totally agree with us pushing sex education on a young, but I do think that we should be speaking about it more openly, you know what I'm saying, at a decent age. Maybe not 5, 4, you feel me, but 8, 9, 10, as they start to get into those worlds. If we had a more open education about it, I think sex wouldn't be a weapon, because it's being used as a weapon against us.
You know, and another sense too, I believe that, you know, as far as parents, we should have a conversation with our children, because they actually see, you know, what we display. So, you know, and charity, what starts at home. So, you know, we also, even though social media is out here, you're also responsible for, you know, censoring your kids.
Facts.
But then again, you know, if you bring a child in this world without, what are you going to tell, you know, what are you there to teach them? So that's what I'm saying, it's trauma. So guys, go way back to, okay, who taught you this? But we have to really, like you state, sex is natural. We came here through sex.
Facts.
So you have to have that discussion. You have to, you know, like you're saying, it's not something to be ashamed of. There's a whole lot of, like I say, have conversation with them, teach them, whether, you know, contraceptives, because there's a whole lot of different STDs and so on and so forth out here as well. So you have to be open and have an open discussion. But then again, like I said, sometimes the parents don't know how, because nobody taught them how to do it. You can't leave it up to the school, because these teachers nowadays are young teachers.
That's a fact.
I have somebody older, you know, to talk. So the dynamics is changing, but this is the best time for us to be here on Earth. And
That's a fact.
like I said, sex is sex.
That's a fact. And don't expect me, my song to teach a kid. Because my song is there to subliminally, see, I was telling her earlier when we were speaking right before we came on set, and I was talking about how I was an agent. You know what I'm saying? I'm an agent. I'm an agent for the other side, for the positive side. I'm infiltrating the underworld. I'm infiltrating the streets. I'm there with the little gangsters in my community. I'm not in everybody else's community, but where I'm at, I'm the big homie. So guess what? The little girls and the little boys, I got direct contact with them. They watching me. They listening to me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be speaking their language. And if I'm not speaking their language, guess what they do? Goes in one ear and out the other. You become just like my father. You become just like my mother. They don't want to hear nothing from those people because when I was younger and my mother was kicking it to me, I'm going to tell you the truth.
They want to hear it.
I found out at my mother's wake that she was called the Queen of Brownsville in the 70s. Men, older men came to her wake. We had it right there in Harlem. Came to her wake, right? And stood up and spoke and was like, yeah, Dolores was Queen of Harlem. Yeah, but numbers, ambulance, she was doing it all. Shootouts. My mom, not my mom, not the good Christian mom, I know. But so you understand, like, so this is what I'm saying. Evolution and consciousness and education turned my mother into a totally different woman. She wasn't even the same woman she was when she passed away. You know what I mean? So education is important. And the music, yes, rappers can be teachers. Rappers can be civil rights leaders, speakers. They are. We are the new.
Because your music, you communicate through your music.
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? So even though the song is saying, like, when I drop the single, I'm gonna take, of course, bitches won't be there because it's gonna be for the radio. So there will be a radio edit, and it will say, I got these women on their knees like they praying. Now, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Well, what's wrong with that? I want to ask y'all out there. What's wrong with women on their knees like they praying? Exactamundo. So
you see?
So this is when they say honor thy mother and honor thy father. It has nothing to do with your biological mother and father. Honor thy mother and honor thy father means honor your ancestors because they have paved the way scientifically, biologically. I'm not talking about no violence and war. We're talking about education, spiritual science, bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So for when we go back to our bloodline, they venerated these things, and they venerated these things to teach the youth. You understand? Just like, for an example, the pantheon of gods and goddesses of Kemetic. They'll tell you, yo, they was worshiping many gods. They worship many gods. No, Ra is Allah. So how did they worship many gods? Ra was Allah. All the rest of the other little gods was ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual ancestry. Yamaya, Oshun. And these goddesses are venerated throughout cultures. Not just in Kemet. It started in Kemet, but when you go to the Santa Maria, you go to Cuba, you go to Jamaica, you go to Haiti, they all have different, they just changed the names, but it's the same deity. You know what I'm saying? The Yoruba. Let's talk about Nigeria.
Well, me not Mindy, so we can talk about the West.
All of those gods and goddesses are the same ones from Kemet. It's the same ones. They just changed the names. That's all. So we dealing with the same science, and we know the science is real because we know voodoo is real, right? We know Baba. I don't even want to say his name.
I don't know.
But you know that's real.
Yeah,
They come visit people and they come do things and they take lives if you play around with them. So that's another thing I want to talk about too. What's crazy is I found out that the Jews in Brooklyn, probably throughout all New York, but I just know I've read about the Jews in Brooklyn. Their curriculum is separate from public school curriculum. So they have a whole different subject matter that they're teaching their children from birth. Guess what's on the list? You would never guess. And it's allowed. Magic. Now people probably is like, magic, so what? No. Voodoo. That's what magic is. It's the same. It's the science of using the forces and the powers of the spiritual world to do your bidding in the material world. This is what they're teaching their children. But they telling you it's bad. And they telling you to stay away from it. But they're teaching their children it. Straight Harry Potter. straight Harry Potter. So when we look at our kids and their development and where they're at financially on a totem pole, if it was a race, our children would be last. If the human race was a race, right? So-called misnomered black, African American, Negro colored, melanated people's children would be last, because we venerate basketball, we venerate rap music. Yeah, I'm a rapper, but I don't agree with us venerating rap music. We should be venerating scientists. We should be venerating, you know what I'm saying, push kids to those type of areas and put those in the forefront. Why is NBA players getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars in school teachers who are responsible for the development of the young child's brain when they are not in your home? They can't even pay their rent. It's a system, right? So all of that is connected to my music. You know what I mean? And all of that is connected to Black Phallus. So prayer is one of the main things too in my song. I speak about prayer. I speak about how symbolically, if a woman was a wife, let's say it with some dignity, if a wife was to choose to get on her knees and pleasure her husband, right? It would be like praying.
It'd be like praying.
Because you get on your knees and pray, right? So
not everybody, you don't have to get on your knees.
No, not everybody, but in general, when people say, okay, when you see a picture of a person in a portrait and they're on their knees, you're not going to be thinking giving somebody head or attempting to look like they're giving somebody head. Automatically, you're going to say, oh, they're about to pray. Or they might be about to bend down and look for something. There has to be an excuse why they're on their knees, right? So I think that with the kids love that part. I got these women on their knees like they praying. They love it. And that's the whole point. But see, prayer is in their subconscious mind. I talk about prayer being the most powerful vocal. You know what I'm saying? So people don't understand, like, everything in the universe is frequency and vibration. So when we pray, you're not actually praying to anything. You have to understand. You're doing it yourself. You're casting spells with your prayers. Allah doesn't have to watch over 1 billion people. You think Allah has enough time? Because Allah creates worlds. Allah creates multiverses. So you think Allah has enough time to watch every one of us? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is why we have laws.
And everywhere is present.
Everywhere, exactly.
It's never an absent. So
he doesn't have to. She doesn't have
his
to.
present is never an absent. So
But
I can't say that I can't say, well, he doesn't have time. He just gives us liberty as human beings.
A choice.
We are creators ourselves because God is within us. So you're a creator. He's allowing you. God didn't create us for us to be, he gave us free choice. So you have a choice to create your universe or your reality. So when he say, oh, God don't have, well, I don't have time. Oh my gosh, pardon me. It doesn't mean that, because don't take it in a different way. If I'm clearing it out.
You're right.
He doesn't
That's
have
what I
time. It's just, he's within you. So
I'm saying he don't have to, since he's
right,
within, he doesn't have to chase somebody down or look and see what you're doing.
No, right.
You already know what you're doing.
Right, that's it. See?
The laws are already in place.
Already in place.
The law, vibration is a law. Mathematics is a law. Science is a law. Karma, when you do something to somebody and it's being done back to you, those is laws that's governing the universe. So the same thing with the vocal cords. When you speak into a prayer, that's a mantra. So, just like they tell you, you put up a visionary board so you could bring these things into your life, whether it's happiness, whether it's prosperity. It's the same thing with prayer. You say the same prayer every night, every morning. Guess what? Whatever's in that prayer is gonna happen. Trust me, because the power's in the tongue. The power's in the vocal cords. It's that frequency. When the vocal cords rub up against each other,
it's like saying our words become things. So you speak it, you cast a spell with your words. So be careful, because you end up eating your words. I tell people. So whatever you put out, you gotta swallow.
Exactly.
Up until I must bow down and worship the black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus. Black phallus, black phallus.